Loss can help us find and know our own strength. Help us find what we truly value. Most of all, loss of any kind can help us find how much we really need each other. Loss can remind us that as human beings, we struggle with doubt and darkness in an imperfect world where suffering and grace both abound. It can teach us that love really matters, that who we are and what we can do at our most essential level is enough. May we all be caught by hidden hands. May the grief of our losses teach us to live so that we love our lives. We welcome you all to this special night of remembrance, where word and song and presence become sources for our own healing, where the darkness of sorrow is dissipated by the light of love. Tonight we give ourselves permission to remember those who have gone before us, those who have been called home, but continue to shine in our hearts forever.
Good evening. Thank you for coming this evening to honor the memory of those who are physically with us. We are fortunate to have a dedicated hospice team in our community. These very caring professionals and volunteers work day in and day out, night after night, traveling all over our county, providing essential medical care, support, advice, guidance, and especially time for anyone in need of hospice services. Please join me in a sincere round of applause for all of them and all that they do and have done. We're fortunate to have an amazing group of singers who have volunteered over the past several years, and I don't think we give enough credit to Trillium. It's a grassroots group whose interest has really been amazing and provided countless hours of support and comfort and calm to so many people, whether it's in the hospital or in the community, mainly in the community. But please, let's give a round of applause to Trillium. A little bit about hospice. Hospice comes from the same root as the words hospitality and hospitable. The idea is to provide a safe space, a welcoming environment, a place of peace and of calm, often despite all of the crazy turbulence and noise and confusion that may be going on all around us. Hospice is there to help create and provide comfort, ease pain and suffering, and help maintain and sometimes enhance connections within families and between friends. Hospice has always reminded me of this key importance of the human connection. I may not always understand it, but I see it and I feel it every day as the work of hospice is done by all of us together. The word connect is an action verb, and in the context of our hospice community, it means to join us together, combine our efforts, and unite us in a common purpose. I've always liked this quote from Albert Einstein. I thought I would read it to you this evening. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that we are here for the sake of each other, above all, for those upon whose smile and well-being our own happiness depends, and also for the countless unknown souls with whose fate we are connected by a bond of sympathy. Many times a day I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of others, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received and am still receiving. Thank you all for coming this evening. I hope the memories of those you honor this evening will always be a blessing for you and for your families.
I'm Marsh Hudson-Knapp, and first I want to thank each of you for inviting me and sharing this sacred time together this evening. Ravna's hospice program has long been a profound gift to so many of us as we come to the most precious and the most precarious moments of our life journey. And it's a privilege to be with you at this sacred night, to gather together and to remember and laugh and cry, to hold each other, to give thanks and to sigh, and to just be still. These are such privileges. There's so much healing power in these movements and pulses of the human heart, and such power in sharing our gratefulness and our loss. Tonight we're illuminating lights, candles in the winter darkness. So often when I think of candles, I think back to my childhood. It was a long time ago. And when I was little, I often liked to get out of bed early in the morning before anybody else in my family was up and watch TV. Every Sunday morning I would get up and watch a wonderfully inspiring program that told stories of hope and love. These stories were very important to me at that time in my life. because my mother suffered from multiple sclerosis, and she tumbled downhill year after year as that disease slowly swallowed her life. My Sunday morning programs became a saving light in that darkness. It was called the Christophers, and each week I liked to sing along with their theme song on the television. I don't know if any of you remember how it goes. Anybody remember? Anybody old enough to remember back then? If you remember, you can join with me because it'll sound better, but if not, suffer. If everyone lit just one little candle, what a bright world this would. Thank you. You and I are very fortunate people, and we've been blessed to share our lives with all of its sadness and delights with other people. Many people in our world have inspired hope and goodness and courage in us, and we come here tonight to honor and cherish them. A few years ago, I was talking with children in our church about this season of the year, and I asked them what they thought it was all about. And I was completely surprised by what one of the children said. This is a time, they said, to remember people who had died. I was silent for a minute, one of the rare moments that I have been caught speechless. And I realized how that child spoke a truth that I often have ignored or avoided. Like it or not, we do remember people who have died at this time of year. Then we get to make a choice, each one of us, to run from our sadness and our gratitude, or to embrace them and move forward as having been blessed. This hour, each of us here have chosen to do some embracing, like the Christophers, and like the people you and I remember tonight. We are lighting a candle instead of cursing the darkness. Each person here tonight, and each person mentioned, is a precious person. And these people for whom we're lighting lights, they stir up wonderful and tremendously powerful memories in our hearts, don't they? So let us treasure these people and their memories. And let us light a candle on the tree and in our hearts. And then let us carry that light, glowing inside of us, out into the world, even if our light may be laced with tears. Friends, let us light one little candle, and then another, and hold each other with love. And what a bright world it will be.
Hi, my name is Nancy Parker. Thank you for letting me share my husband's story and be a part of this special evening. The pain in his leg was getting worse. X-rays were done and showed he had bone cancer. In February 2010, my husband, Donald Parker, age 65, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. He had smoked when he was young, but quit about 40 years ago. The cancer had spread to the upper leg bone, and he had felt fine and had no sign anything was wrong except for this pain in his leg. Then his battle started. He had radiation for the bone cancer every day for 10 days. Then came the chemo. I hated seeing him sit there for 8 hours every 3 weeks getting pumped with that poison, but it had to be done. He got sick, lost all his hair and energy, but never lost his spirit. He was always positive. He had good days and bad ones during that time. Because of his health, he was forced to retire from Karis Reels, where he had worked as a truck driver for over 40 years with a perfect driver's record. Easter Sunday, with our children, just the 4 of us, we had an unbelievable conversation. He would tell us of the place he would go when he was sleeping, all of the people he saw that had gone on before him, and that he talked with, and how beautiful it was there. He loved going to that place. It was very inspirational for all of us. It reassured us he was comfortable in dying and made it a little easier for us to cope with that thought. When it was evident that the end was near, we had a conversation with Jessica, the palliative care nurse at the Rutland Regional, and put visiting nurses, hospice team on board so we could go home. Everything was put in place before we arrived, and the visiting nurses were all wonderful and very caring. When it was time for hospice to step in, we were blessed with Nicole. There aren't enough words of praise to describe this young, wonderful nurse with a very difficult job of helping a person to die and be support for the family. But Nicole does it. She came no matter the day or night, what time it was. On May 3rd, 2011, he lost his battle. My son, my daughter, and I were by his side, along with his special sister Gail and his brother. It's been extremely difficult to lose my best friend and companion of over 50 years, 44 of which we were married. We had a wonderful life together. We had 2 beautiful children, 5 beautiful grandchildren, and many very special friends and family who've been very supportive in every way. We did a lot of traveling, camping, and had fun with all these family and friends. Those memories are a special gift. Sometimes you smile, sometimes you cry when you think of one. I think what helps me the most, though, is the love I feel from all of these special people. This is what helps me cope when the lawnmower doesn't run, or I have to depend on someone to fix it, or help me do the things that once were taken for granted because he did it. Spend as much time making the memories as you can. Death doesn't care how old you are, what you do for work, or how much money you have. I know we will be together again in the place that made my husband happy to visit. Until then, I will remain strong and do what I need to do because he wanted me to. Now my daughter has a few things to say.
Good evening. My name is Andrea Parker. I'm Donald Parker's daughter. Anyone who knows me knows how close my dad and I were. We had an incredible bond, and he taught me the value of honesty, loyalty, respect, and most importantly, family. My dad was my best friend, an amazing teacher, and confidant. Sorry. I always felt like he was indestructible. Even as he was battling cancer, he did it with dignity and poise. And I still thought he was strong. I remember thinking that he had the biggest, warmest hands on the planet, and with him was the safest place to be. I could tell my dad anything, and he always had great advice. Even when I didn't want to admit it, or didn't yet see it, he was always right. Dad and I had a level of respect and trust for each other that I've never experienced with anyone else. When I was a little girl, my dad was a long-distance truck driver. He would typically leave on Sunday evening and not return again until Wednesday or Thursday. I would spend my Sunday with a nervous stomach, dreading the moment that he had to leave. I would help him pack his clothes and iron shirts for him. I would sit and talk to him while he shaved, all the while knowing it was inevitable and that the day was almost over and soon he would leave for work and be gone for a few days. Without fail, when he drove out of the driveway, I would flash the outside light 3 times to say, "I love you." And he would flash 4 times back to say, "I love you too." Once he left, I would usually pout a bit and make my poor mother suffer. Now, I am a mother of 4. I have a son with a severe disability. I have been through a divorce. I have suffered the loss of family and friends. I have helped my husband and my father battle cancer. But all my life, I have always been most terrified of the day that my father would pass away and leave me forever. I used to get teary at just the thought of it. How would the earth still turn without him on it? Mom and I are here tonight to talk about our loss as well as our experience with hospice. I could never say enough to show my appreciation and respect for what hospice does. Once we realized that Dad's battle was over, he decided he wanted to go home. Dad was never afraid of dying, but he was very afraid that it would be painful. Within a few hours of Dad's decision, hospice had everything in place. The bed, the equipment, and medications had been delivered and set up before we even arrived home. Being a nurse myself, I was impressed by this. I kept going through what Dad's needs would be in my mind and worrying that we wouldn't be able to meet them. My biggest worry was that we wouldn't be able to manage his pain. I remember feeling relief for finally being home, as well as terror for about what we were about to face. But at least we were all together. When our hospice nurse, Nicole, walked in, I have to admit, I was nervous. I thought she was really young, and I wasn't sure she was going to take care of my dad the way I would. I immediately realized that Nicole wasn't going to take care of my dad as a nurse takes care of a patient at all. Nicole took care of him as if he was her own father. I sensed that it was very important to her that my dad died with dignity and respect, and most importantly, pain-free. She stayed with us for several days and nights to ensure that he was comfortable. I often think of Nicole, both of us mothers, both of us nurses, and that we both share the compassion to help and nurture other people. As nurses, I help bring people into the world, and Nicole helps them leave. Dad would have loved that. Because Dad was so comfortable, my family and I were able to have amazing moments, and we were able to grieve with him as he was leaving us. He was able to say goodbye to everyone one by one, including his grandchildren and his beloved dogs. He was able to tell us amazing dreams that he would have about his family and friends that have passed over and were waiting for him in a beautiful place. He was able to tell me he wasn't afraid and reassure my fears. He told me how much he loved me and how proud he was of me. He told me I was a great mom, and he instructed me that although I was going to be a little sad at first, that my job was to see after my mother and take good care of his grandbabies. Honoring this wish keeps me going. Of all the things that I've experienced in my life, my father's death was the most profound. It was incredibly hard to say goodbye to him, and equally hard to watch my mom let go. We had many moments of laughter. One night, Dad said, "I think this is it," and my mother and I sat vigil at his bedside. Mom sat on one side and I sat on the other. He told my mother how much he loved her and how amazing their life was together. He put his hand on my cheek and said, "I love you." We all hugged and cried. And Mom and I sat there, tearfully watching every breath with anticipation, wondering if that was going to be his last. Suddenly, Dad popped his eyes open and said, "False alarm." These are the moments that keep me going. Just as I was when I was little, the dreaded day had come and Dad would soon be leaving me. I knew he didn't want to go, but as he went, I knew he loved me. I could never have imagined that sharing these experiences with my father as he was dying would have helped me mourn his death. Many of the moments put a smile on my face. I can't imagine how much harder his passing would have been without this gift. I feel him with me all the time, and as usual, Dad was right. There's nothing more important than family, and I cherish mine. Thank you for allowing me to tell you about the greatest man I've ever known.
At this time, we will read the names of our loved ones who have died. As you hear the name of your loved one, please come up with your family members and friends to the memorial tree and turn a bulb on.
Linger just a bit. Treasure the music sung and played. Allow it to lift your spirits. Remember the caring words spoken. Let them be your inspiration. Open your eyes to see the shining lights on the tree. Receive the light of people whom you have loved, who you do love, and whom you will always love. When you stand to leave, know that you are surrounded by people who also share loss and grief. Take courage. You are not alone. When you walk towards the door, feel the support of unseen hands, which will steady and guide you in the journey ahead. As you step outside into the dark night, fill your heart and your soul with the spirit of love and all that you call holy, which will lighten your grief, bring hope to your future, and in time allow you to discover joy in living once again. And may peace be yours, now and always. Amen.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. We ask that you think about remaining and enjoying some refreshments that were prepared by the hospice volunteers and have conversation and fellowship. Thank you.